Vicki from PowerToolsWithThread.com. How you guys doing? And it's a great Saturday here in South Texas. Today is July 27th, 2019, and just a beautiful day. I don't know, that I guess that barometer's low or something. It's not real humid outside, and we had kind of a cool front here for a little while. Well, it hit the 70s, so that was nice to go out to work in the morning and it was 70 degrees instead of 82. Oh man, I got things rolling along here. My last video I did, I had told y'all that I had to rip out 4 rows of that quilt I was making for my boss. Y'all were so sweet and so sympathetic. I can tell a lot of you have been where I was. But one of you, I apologize, I don't remember your name. You had a brilliant idea. You said you need to call that lady who asked you to work the wedding and get her over there to help you unpick, and that's exactly what I did. I called her right then, and I said, hey, I need a favor. She says, sure, what do you need? So she came over that night with her 16-year-old, and we had an unpick party for about 2.5 hours and got it all taken care of. So I have it back on the long arm today, and everything is going along just fine. You know, the tension issues, you know, if you think you've got tension problems in one of your projects you're working on, do not climb on that boat on the river of denial and blindly keep going. You know, you've got to stop and figure out what it is. You know, if I would have just done this simple thing of, there were 2 issues. It was upper and lower tension that was the problem. For those of you who are unaware, my new subscribers, hi, welcome. I am making a quilt for my boss. Let me show you guys. I'll just pick up the camera and bring it over here, and I'll show you. So it's on the long arm right now, and the pattern is called Bachelor Buttons, and the pattern of the quilt is called Gallantly Streaming. And Bachelor Buttons is the quilting pattern that I'm using to put the quilt sandwich together. Well, I had major tension problems. Oh, I was probably about halfway through it, maybe on my 3rd bobbin, I guess. And I didn't pay attention. You know, you put your bobbin in and you're supposed to be able to pull on the string, and your bobbin casing should stand up and hang there on your hand. You shouldn't be able to lift it off your hand. Well, I pulled that bobbin out of the machine, I grabbed a hold of that thread and went that bobbin laid flat. It was so loose. I had to turn that thing probably, half a turn. You know, 180 degrees on that little screw. That's a lot for a bobbin. And I think I normally quilt with isocord, which is an embroidery thread, and my machine loves a super strong thread. And I had switched, I don't know why, but I switched to So Fine in the bottom by Superior, which is fabulous. It's a great thread, but I didn't fiddle with the tension and check it before I did that. So, you know, the rest of the quilt has tension problems here and there, but I might have to go in and do some fixing. And then I still have the problem with the quilt. You know, it quilts the first row just fine, everything looks great, and the second row, it's like it drives itself up into the first row. That I'm gonna blame on the frame, because it isn't the computer, and it isn't Becky. I don't think. Could be. I don't think so. Anyway, hey, I think it was last winter, I had told y'all I ordered this English trellis lap quilt. This is the lap size from Connecting Threads. Isn't that beautiful? I love it, the grays and the pink. It's just gorgeous. I think there's a better picture of it. Yes, 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 yes. This is it here. Isn't that nice? And I got really tired of doing half square triangles. Really tired. But while this thing is doing its thing on the long arm, I'm like, you know what? I need to go back and get a hold of that And so I got to show you guys. Okay, so I have to have 192 of these gray half square triangles and 96 of these other color, which is the light pink and yellows of these half square triangles. So lots and lots of half square triangles. Have you guys seen this? It's called Clearly Perfect Slotted Trimmer. You guys seen this? I'm gonna make sure you can see it. This thing is awesome. I love this so much, and I'll put a link to it down below. And you know, I'm making them the standard way where you draw a line through the middle and then, you know, sew up and down both sides. This thing is so cool. These half square triangles have to be 3.5. So I'm using the ruler to cut on the marked line. And then you, so if they want 3.5 inch, and so it has this, the 3.5 inch mark right here, okay? And you just put that on your seam line. I'm gonna do this a little sideways for me so I can see. And then just trim it up like this on both sides. And then you just cut in here and get your dog ears right there. And you get a perfectly cut 3.5 inch half square triangle. How nice is that? I love this thing. It is making my life so much easier to square the block right while you're working on it, which is really nice. So I just wanted to show you guys that was making my life a lot easier. This is the last of my 192 mini half square triangles. So while I got all that going on, there is fall's coming, and so the local Greater San Antonio Quilt Guild is having a Color the World with Quilts. This is September 20th and 21st. Those of you locals that would want to go, I went 2 years ago and I really liked this. There were a lot of vendors and a lot of really cool quilts there, so I enjoyed it very much. So if you guys want to go, it's $8, 10 and under is free, and it's over on it's 410 and Marbach, which is way on the southwest corner of town. And 100 years ago, there used to be a Cloth World in that shopping center. I used to work at that Cloth World. Long cloth world. Cloth World. Long, like in the 90s, I worked there. So I was a poor starving staff sergeant in the Air Force and needed every little penny. So I would get off work and go over there and put bolts of fabric away and align, you know, put the zippers all back, and oh, I loved it. I thought it was great. They actually gave me a math test. Can you imagine giving somebody a math test to work at a fabric store nowadays? Oh, geez. I had to do it all on paper. Ooh, frightening. Also, let's see, not that weekend, the next weekend, there is a quilt show in Round Rock, Texas. So you Austinites, if you guys want to go up there, all around that, the 27th and 28th, it is in the Dell Diamond Heritage Center Quilt Show. So that's what that is. I am not going to make that one because September 26th through the 28th is the Fall Frolic Shop Hop for my neck of the woods down here in South Texas. Okay, there is going to be, it's 5 shops in Blanco, Wimberley, Fredericksburg, Schertz, and McQueeney. So I have not been, the only one I've been to is Schertz, and that's my local quilt store. I have not been to any of these other ones, and McQueeney is new. So, and it's shameful I haven't been there because that's really not that far from me. Now, Fredericksburg, Blanco, and Wimberley are going to be a trek, you know, up into the hill country, but that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. So, anyway, oh, I wanted to let you know. So, my friends that came over who helped pick out that quilt, a lot of you recommended a shaver. And I'll tell you what, if you have to do an enormous amount of unpicking, I actually bought this. This is by Galaxy Notions. I can't remember. I might have got it on Amazon. I can't. It looks like a little shaver. See? Just like you get a hold of the dog and meet. Oh, my dogs hear this and they're like gone. But I actually bought it to pick out embroidery. Not that I ever make a mistake in machine embroidery, right? But I used it, and a lot of you recommended this thing, and I'll be honest with you, you know, when you're in the panic of, oh my goodness, I've ruined it, your brain doesn't work right. And y'all were awesome, and there was a whole bunch of you that said, get a shaver. And I had it, I had to go dig it out of the embroidery cabinet, but I had this. So I wouldn't have thought about it. I started with the pick. Well, y'all, that was miserable. But it's okay now. You know, it's like Miranda Lambert's new song. It'll all come out in the wash. Hey, we are fixing to head over to our friend's house this afternoon and enjoy this wonderful weather and get in their pool. So this is just a short video, but I want to let you guys know that all is well with the quilt. And I'm dug the other one out, and what's going on. Can you believe it's fall? Well, it's the end of July. Back to school is next month. Gonna have to start changing the time I leave for work to miss the buses. Ugh. Hate buses. You guys have a great weekend, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.